Disappointed in the loss, unacceptable on every level, from player, coach, myself, take total responsibility for it, but unacceptable on every level, from the start to the finish. So we got to take this and say this is who we are right now and fix it, and that's what the challenge is to this team. I do not think that is a representation of what our team can be, but it was what we were today, and we got to own that. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
We'll start here. Dominic, you have any questions?
First, that being said, your team did have some bright spots. Talk about some of those bright spots. You start off in the second half. You guys make it a closer game. Talk about McCray and his effort there and making it a closer game there at the beginning of the second.
Yeah, at halftime, I made a comment. I said, dudes got to be dudes. In first half, we weren't being dudes on offense, all right? So, again, we made some adjustments, which you always are going to do. And then, the playmakers started to show up a little bit. We've got to do that way sooner on offense. And then defense, we got to play complementary football. The first half, the defense was doing solid. Besides that, we gave up a kick, which is unacceptable. And but you take that away, it's a 7-point game going into halftime. But we did some things that are not like us. The targeting penalty, the punt, that's stuff that we can control that we didn't take it. We didn't do a good job with. So we got a lot to learn from. I do believe you make your biggest jump from week 1 to week 2. But this is a talented football team, okay? And I'm not afraid to run away from that after this score. They've got to put it together and find out how to play complementary football, play for each other, and come back and respond next week. Bottom line.
That being said, different offense this year.
Yep.
I imagine had it been a little difficult scouting because their offense was used in FCS last year. Did anything catch you guys by surprise with their offense, and how do you guys think you adjusted in that first half after their drive at the beginning?
I thought that the first couple of drives we were, figuring it out a little bit, but we figured it out. You look at it, we figured it out. We started getting off the field on defense. And then the penalty happened to Caleb, and I thought that deflated our defense. I thought they didn't respond well after that. He's a leader for sure at the linebacker, and he was playing very well up to that point. And I thought we didn't come in and feed off of what he had built up to that point. So, I thought we got the hang of it. I honestly did. I thought when he went down in the second half, we didn't have the same juice we had in the first, after we figured out the offense a little bit. So we'll get him back next game. Terrible situation for the kid. He was disappointed, but it was a good call. It was a good call. It was targeting. So, yeah.
What do you think about Devin's performance today, quarterback?
He's got to play better, and he can. We got to protect him, though. We got to give him a shot up front. I didn't think our O-line did a great job protecting him today, and we've got to do better. I thought they responded in the second half, after being challenged at halftime. But we got to play better on every facet, and we got to coach better. That's the big thing. Head coach, assistant coaches, we've got to coach way better. This game is on us, on me. I'll take all of it because we were not ready to play. We were not, and we caught up to the game instead of setting the tempo of the game, and we cannot do that ever again.
Luke Floria, he had an impressive performance, 106 yards, a touchdown, a good kick return there in the first half. Did you have high expectations of him going into this game?
I did. I thought him and Caleb were the two guys that, to me, right away were ready to rock and roll with how they were playing and the urgency they played with, the detail. I thought everybody else had to get going, which we can't do. This locker room knows that is not the team we are. They know that. I think they're as disappointed as I am right now with the result that they just got. But they have a choice now to, again, fix it or continue to live in this misery. And I think they're going to respond the right way.
You guys had 4 sacks in the day. How do you think about the defensive line's performance when it came to pass rush?
I thought we played okay. There was a lot more meat on the bone. I think, we could have had 2 more turnovers, tip balls. We could have got a couple more tip balls. Again, there's some bright spots here, but this isn't how we want to play football. So we've got to play better.
Now, with the rushing game, was this kind of almost like trying to figure out who's going to take up majority of the snaps at running back?
No, it's going to be Kai's show. We lost Gavin, obviously, but Curtis has got to come in and spill him a little bit more. I thought he started running better in the second half once he got going a little bit and they gave him a little bit of space. But I know Kai, and Kai's a competitor, and he was out there fighting. We got to do a better job up front, giving him holes and giving him creases to run through. But he's a competitor. He'll come back and respond.
Dave? Your offensive line seemed to gain some traction on those first couple of offensive drives in the second half, but overall, what are some adjustments you want that unit to make heading into St. Francis next week?
The first half, they came out and they did some different things they hadn't shown on tape defensively, brought a couple of pressures, and we got a freshman center. So we got in the locker room and we calmed him down a little bit so he can make the adjustment because he makes a lot of the checks up front. with the IDs and where we're going to run the ball to. So, again, after we calmed them down, I thought the second half they got in a rhythm a little bit better, okay? But, again, I still think we're a ways away. I didn't like the way they finished the game. Again, we kept responding on offense in the second half, which was good. But even though the defense was giving up, we still got to keep responding throughout the whole game until we finish it.
A guy that stood out on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the first half, was Cam Olds. What can we expect from him the rest of the season? He seemed very athletic out there.
Ton of ability. Again, he's got to be consistent with it. I didn't think he was overly consistent. He showed up here and there, but he's got a ton of ability. He's a guy we got at the portal that's a really good player. You know, we need him to play well for us to have success.
Got a couple of questions from our virtual contingent here. Just overall, your thoughts on the run game, both sides. It seemed to be a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, they ran the ball well. You're looking at the numbers. We did not. We've got to do a better job of running the ball. And, again, I thought we did a better job in the second half after we calmed down and relaxed a little bit and got in the groove of the game. But we got a long way to go, and we got to close the gap sooner than later.
What did you see, Coach, out of Curtis Douglas today? I know you said he had a really, really good training camp. What were your thoughts on really his first really collegiate action?
You know, there's something that I believe always happens with running back in particular. There's the pressure of the situation. The guys can go in practice and do a really, really good job, but until they get in the pressure of the situation and pick up the speed of it, it's a learning curve, okay? And I thought Curtis, he picked it up as he went, but I expect him to play way better next week than he did today. He's got a talent. He's got ability. He's went against good defense all fall camp. He's got to relax and just trust his keys on stuff. But that's the learning curve of playing a freshman at running back as your backup. There's going to be some mistakes there. He missed a couple, and he knows it. He'll watch the tape. He'll get better. But I got total faith in Curtis. You know, he's a good back, and he'll respond the right way.
Anybody else with questions for Coach? All right, Coach, we'll see you Monday for a weekly press conference as we get ready for the home opener.
Awesome. Thank you. Go Flashes, King Grip.